Old friends are like old memories. They always remind you of your past, and we are reminding ourselves of the past episodes from this week of Good Company for the Best of Good Company with me, Hollie Taylor. I'm Hollie Taylor. We're talking about some of the things that have been passed down to you, some family traditions, ways of doing things, as I just think it's such a beautiful thing when we get to learn from our elders about how to make certain foods, do certain things, and it really could be anything. The story today inspired by master lacrosse stick maker. His name is Alfie. He passed away, but not before, helping his son from the time his son was just young. To make these lacrosse sticks, which I love. And I've actually heard stories of Indigenous communities where they just knew how to make wildfires and contain them so they didn't become these massive fires. But there's something very restorative when it comes to a forest fire or a wildfire, as it burns off the dead and allows fresh new roots to shoot up from the earth. And so it's an important process of our nature and the cycle of nature. And so there are still some communities that have passed this down to the next generation, learning how to manage and control essentially wildfires. I see farmers do this too, burning off their crops and getting ready for a whole new year. So definitely a skill, and it takes a lot of, I would say, training and just being aware of the weather around you. Producer Mike, any text messages coming in today about traditions or things that have been passed down to somebody?
Yeah, we got a message here from Martha. She says her mother passed down a big soup pot that she had.
Okay.
It's the cure-all and the magic ingredient to curing a cold. She's making chicken noodle soup in this pot, apparently.
Oh. Yeah. And it has to be that pot.
It has to be.
I would imagine so. Because if it's like an old pot being passed down, I just feel like it absorbs some of the spices used. The
essence of previous soups. Yeah, I get it.
You can't just use a new soup pot. No,
it would feel wrong. It's breaking tradition. I understand,
really
Martha. I totally get it.
Yeah, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. So I appreciate your text message. Keep them coming, 905-338-1250. Oh, this is lovely. Laura texted in, and her mom gave her grandmother's Bible, and it is full of notes, just little notes that her grandmother took while she was just diving into God's word. That's a beautiful thing also to be passed down. So we've got a lot of things from our grandmothers that cure the soul, soup and a Bible. I sense a trend, guys. Whether you're joining me through the My Joy Radio app on your smartphone or simply through the radio, AM dial 1250, or online at joyradio.ca, just want to thank you so much for being a part of Good Company. We've been talking about ways to cheer up those who are lonely in our lives, or the things that people have done for us. Your ideas are very beautiful. Now, this is a story that I don't know is a thing of dreams or nightmares, because I find teeth a little creepy. But bear with me. In Japan, they have the world's first tooth regrowth medicine, and it's moving towards clinical trials. I know. I don't know whether to be astounded or freaked out of this medication that can help, especially with children, if there's any kind of developmental issues with their teeth, can help the teeth to form and regrow. And then also for adults as well, maybe you've lost some teeth, maybe you want to get them wisdom teeth back, add a little extra wisdom teeth with your wisdom strands. Yes, your gray hairs. They're curious and testing out right now how they can do just that, regrowing teeth. So I know that's so random. Like you wanted to talk about teeth today on your Tuesday afternoon, but guys, that's where we're going today. I found it fascinating. I don't know why, but now you know. Your random story for today. I'm Hollie Taylor. We are talking about those things that make our lives a little bit more simple. Whether it be trying to put a ban on certain things in your life, like creating healthier boundaries, identifying what's important to you. What are you doing to simplify your day today? This is so important. I got a message here from Mary at 905-338-1250. She says, I have embraced saying no. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when a lot of things are coming at you. Sometimes, you just need to have that deep breath and say, is this important to me? Do I want to be a part of this? It's not that I want to hurt people's feelings, but I don't have as much bandwidth as I'd like to have. So the answer is no. Yeah, that's a tough one to sit in sometimes. Producer Mike, what are you doing to simplify your life?
I recently organized my apartment.
Ooh.
That's helping.
I bet.
I don't spend as much time looking for something in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All the drawers have, I cleaned them all out and reorganized everything.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would change my life as much as it has. But
it does, though, doesn't it?
It's so handy. Just like, I need that measuring cup. I'm not rooting around for, the back of a cabinet somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just right there.
Yeah. I love that. Organization, so like spring and fall cleaning are like, oddly enough, my favorite times of the year for that reason.
I've heard you talk about that. I think it's your love language.
Yeah, probably. Something like that. But you get it now. It makes things so much easier when you know where you can find things. My grandmother always said, and now I finally embrace it, a place for everything, everything in its place.
I almost said it there with you. I knew that was coming.
You knew it. Oh, goodness. All right. Different things that we were doing to simplify our lives. Let's go back to another text message. This one is actually from Frida. She says, for her, she will often just turn off the TV. The extra noise sometimes makes things feel too much. So turning off the TV allows her to breathe deeply and to simplify things. So there we go. Getting rid of distractions. I like these, and I'm writing them down. Thank you. Lots of ways for you to join us here in Good Company. You can use the My Joy radio app. It works for your Apple and your Android devices. Also, using a smart speaker, you can just say, hey, insert name here. Play Joy Radio on TuneIn, and you have the opportunity to listen to us that way. So thanks to technology, wherever you are, you can be a part of what we're doing and also be inspired by the incredible ministries that Joy Radio plays. Now, this is something I've been saying for a while, and I've been trying to encourage my kids to try to find the love of math, because I do feel like math is equal to music. I remember being pregnant with my first child, and they said, hey, play them Mozart when they're inside, and they'll be better with math. And I was like, it's funny. But then I thought about it, and I've done a lot of theory, musical theory, and it's fractions, it's counting, and it makes sense. So now there's studies to back up my, just theories, I suppose, my hypotheses. I don't know if that said that right, but we'll go with it. And so, yes, students, when they have mathematical lessons, when it's tied into music, remember the lessons better. They also have less anxiety about doing the math, and there's less pressure. Kids can clap things out to different songs, to learn rhythms, to learn numbers. You can equate that to fractions, because let's face it, when you take a look at somebody's the signature, so you got like 2-4 timing or 2-2 timing, that's a fraction. And so it's kind of cool that now there are studies to back this up to help our kids navigate the mathematical world in a more fun and engaging way, because math can be fun, and it should be. It's a different language, but it can also really help doing things like the piano. Very mathematical. So a really cool tie-in that now studies are backing up. Things that we already knew, but now we've got the science to prove it. Thank you for joining me here today on Good Company, whether it be through the radio, AM dial 1250, joining us online at joyradio.ca, or using the My Joy Radio app for Google and Apple devices. I'm Hollie Taylor. I love this story. It gives me all the feels, as Kevin, a 95-year-old veteran, was actually the first person to do something in an area that had sentimental value to him. Now, when he met his wife quite a few years ago, back in the 1940s, her name was Molly. He was at a club. It was a popular place for all of those who are part of the Royal Air Forces to be there, to unwind. It was called the Corn Exchange. The hot spot for all the servicemen. Oh, so funny, Corn Exchange. Although 1940s, I get it. Well, he met his beautiful bride there, and they've had an incredible marriage. Well, she has passed. He's now at a seniors care facility, and he happened to notice that the club was reopening under a new name called Club X. And so he wanted to go there. So he asked the caregiver, hey, would you go? Can we arrange this? And she's like, absolutely. She calls the club owner and says, hey, Kevin actually was one of the couples for the first time that this club was open back back in the 40s. He would love to come back and check it out and see what you've done with the place. Well, the club owner did one thing more. Before they actually officially opened their doors to the public, he allowed the caregiver and Kevin to swing on by to christen the dance floor and even let him pick the song he wanted to dance to. Definitely not the current music. It was Chattanooga Choo Choo by the Glenn Miller Orchestra. But smiles were had as he danced and had an incredible time with his caregiver. Then they opened the doors and he was able to continue to dance on the new version of a club that had such sentimental value to him. So I love that story. Getting his exercise in and also jogging the memory.